I hate technology. I love technology because I couldn't do this at all without it. But what the fuck? Oh, there we go. There's my little stative. I think, I mean, I can't tell, but I think it should be better now. Yeah, there's one person. Let me know. Is the connection all right? Is the connection all right? Technology, guys. I was just saying, I love it. I couldn't do this without it. But yeah, like WTF. WTF. Hey, Adam Lucas. How are you? Oh, it's a little close. It's like I want you guys. I want you to come closer. So I set the camera here. Hello. Hey, guys. How are you? How are you guys? Decent. Decent. Only decent. You please like, oh, you have some people already. Um, yeah. Good. How are you? No, I'm good. Or, I'm sorry, no man is good. All is well. Olla kala. Pada. Olla kala. That in Greek, that means all is well. Always all is well. Because it is. It's a mindset. Goodwill to all men. Yeah. Hi, Sigma Edits. Yes, but please keep me posted about the quality if it messes up or something, because on the computer it's really easy to tell. It starts lagging the shit out. What do I learn quickly? Interesting, because I do learn quickly. But what do you mean I learn quickly? I'm curious exactly what you're saying. Oh, Greek. Yeah, meleto elrika alla discola. But that's the thing, guys. Now I'm thinking, should I go into a character and just yell at you? But that's the thing. You can mold yourself into so much. People are always like, no, I don't want to be speaking Greek yet. I don't know so much. No, I don't know so much. So I have to speak it. How would I learn if I didn't speak it? So I go around the neighborhood, jacked and tan, blonde, giga chad. Everyone looks at you. So I'm like, Kalimera, Kalimera, Kalimera. And every other person will want to have a conversation with me. And then I often go, Meleto Elnikia. It's like, I'm learning Greek. And ala ime diskola. It's difficult. And later, yeah, difficult language. And I will try most of them to speak English. They will help me out. Shut up, computer. That's the thing, guys. I learn everything quick because I understand how it works. All the people, what your guys are doing now. I'm your teacher now. I can tell you some things, but you're gonna learn nothing if you don't go out and do anything of the things we're talking about. Then you're just gonna sit there and feel smart, like, yeah, oh, I see, I understand what he's saying, but you're not really learning anything unless you want. Um, let's see. Adam Lucas, I saw your recent video where you were shouting. You reminded me of David Goggins. Well, I must take that as a compliment. Yeah, do you know what annoys me? It's an ego somehow. There's so many people are you trying? Not no one guy said, "Is this guy trying to be Cole?" And that's just funny when I'm so clearly saying that it's me, Theo, and I'm speaking to you, and he's just like some anon is like, is this guy trying to be Cole? As if I'm not here, and seeing you, you little shit. And so I'm just like, does this nobody on the internet, doesn't he understand this is Theo speaking to him? But it annoys me more when someone is just like, oh, yeah, you really remind me of Cole or something, like it's a good thing. Because it's like, yeah, there are things I like with Cole, but in my opinion, I've outgrown Cole. Not to put Cole down, but he's more simple. He's more simple-minded in a sense. I mean, I should be humble. I don't know Cole fully, and I understand as I get better and better as a coach, like his approach, why he does things in a certain way. Um, but okay, I think I have a bigger area of expertise than Cole has. That's what I'd say. Cole it's weight loss and fasting, and we'll talk about some life stuff, but it's a lot of that. And yeah, I'm about everything. Like now, I will talk about the fact that I'm learning Greek because it's about learning. It's about growing as a person, as a whole. It's holistic, right? It's not just like, oh, fasting and weight loss and life. Um, let's see. J-Mac, at least they're friendly and not shy. Our military drill sergeants imitating Cole as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone is Cole. He's the archetype that everyone that yells follows. No, but to be honest, I can yell. I could yell right now, but probably, I mean, I don't know. It's the weekend of the Greeks. They're probably having dinner now. It's 2 a.m. here. That we can talk about that for you that don't know that, because you guys, it's not that time for you. I'm awake because I go up very early. I usually go up at 4, but I have my own coach. I have to meet at midnight. So I went to sleep at, well, I tried to from 6, maybe fell asleep a bit after 7. And then I woke up at like 10:30. And I biohacked sleep. Yes, I now understand because I'm becoming like a Greek philosopher. To be honest, like not to be too arrogant. Like I'm not saying, oh, I'm Socrates or anything, but I now see that the intellectual modern science, or the intellectual modern approach to everything really is flawed, because it's like when we take stuff like sleep and training and stuff, it's like very mechanical examination of very average people. And the average person today has so many energy leaks that, of course, they need to sleep 7 or 8 hours. But I'm getting better and better at managing and channeling my energy. I mean, you can tell my flow here, right? I'm not loud. I'm not all. I'm just like, I have my energy here, and now I'm choosing to, I can control my energy fully, and I don't let anything leak out in negative thoughts and that. So I don't really, you see, I don't waste energy during the day, and I don't have a bunch of shit to process in sleep. So I can sleep for like that. Now this was very little. It was like 3 hours. Probably most days I'm gonna need a little bit more. Because yesterday I had slept too little. I burnt out a little bit. So I actively I fasted. I'm fasted now. I'm on the second day of a fast right now. So I'm actually choosing to conserve my energy. And you see, I can sleep less. And so I completely fucking Greek philosopher style biohack my sleep. Not that I know that the old Greeks did that, to be honest. But yeah, let's see here. J-Mac just also said at least they're friendly and not shy about the Greeks. Yeah, but a lot of them are shy. One cashier, I'm trying to tell her I'm nice. You don't have to be shy, but she's always looking down like this. But that's what happens when you're Giga Chad, I guess. Like jacked and tan blonde, Apollo, come, um, Crowell, Lovecraft. Come on, I thought oh yeah, that's right. This fucking computer, it's so weird. It's so weird like that. Okay, Crowell Lovecraft, I need you to yell at me. That you sound like a little child. Um, I just woke up as well. I can never sleep past 6 hours. Now, but you see, this is the thing. Remember that you're the student of this channel. It might be that 6 hours is enough for you. I don't know enough for you. But some people, they wake up too early because I've done that too. Because you're too wired. Your sympathetic nervous system just doesn't shut off. But yesterday, I was very parasympathetic because I know myself so well and my body that I know what it feels like to if the sympathetic nervous system is active, the fight flight we call it, but it's really action, take action nervous system, and parasympathetic is like rest and digest, chill nervous system. I know exactly how much of each is activated. I shouldn't say exactly how, because it's a spectrum, but I can really feel, oh, I have a quite strong sympathetic drive now. And I've been there, and then you wake up earlier than you should. But if you go to sleep parasympathetic and stay parasympathetic, then you wake up exactly when you're supposed to, when you're well rested. So this is again these dumb things. I mean, it can be a general rule of thumb. You should go for this amount of hours or something. But yeah, do you see what I'm saying? It's like all the fucking flawed, intellectualized modern science. It's yeah, it's based off of average people, and the average person today just sucks. I mean, they suck so much, and that's why I do what I do to help them suck less. Um, mm, 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 uh, uh, uh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Adam Lucas, you're on point, my man. He says, ha ha ha, but it's not yelling that will solve your problems. The point of yelling is to help push you to take action, but yelling won't take action for you. It's right, because someone feels like, oh, I'm getting yelled at. Yeah, I understand that I deserve this. It's like Masochisting. Yeah, I am a loser. Yeah, tell me. I come in my pants when you tell me I'm a loser. Then you don't go do shit. You little fucking idiot. You're probably getting off to me saying that too. Pathetic. Pathetic. Um, Flying Thunder God version. How much do you train during your 5-day fasts? I've just done one, and I've done a 1 week fast. Um, Let me just say, how do you escape the rat race and modern slavery of jobs? That's what I'm doing right now, my man. And I'm gonna tell you guys, if you want to be honest, I know. Before I go on to answer your questions, I will answer all the questions because I still don't get overwhelmed by the amount on these streams or anything. But I call it the last live stream ever because I'm in the midst of leveling up and escaping the rat race. I escaped the rat race for a long time ago, but actually leveling up my business more. And one of the services I'm gonna have for coaching, I'm not gonna have only one-on-one clients. I'm gonna have different tier coaching is services, right? So one is going to be group call based, and so I feel like I can't be doing too many live streams anymore because then I'm just giving away for free what I do for clients. So do you see? I would like to. You could tell that I get off of this. I love doing this, but it's to be fair to the people that actually give money. So in order for these, I know, yeah, this is the point, to take responsibility for my imperfection. I know that even when I've tried to make the point that if we all mutually help each other, you support my content with likes, comments, super chats, this kinds of stuff, then you will get more out of me. But I know I have been a little entitled, I realize, because I never went into this to make money. I went into this to help you. But now I'm actually saying you're gonna have to make this, yeah, it's not gonna work, because you're gonna have to pay for this, or I'm gonna have to remove them because there are other people that pay for this, and it's not fair to them. I might have to make it equal for everyone, right? So, yeah. So yeah, what I'm saying is you should if you want these streams to keep going, you should support with a super chat. But okay, let's go to the questions. This is the thing with the computer messing up. Now I can share this on Instagram because I can't make posts, I think, on Instagram from here because I want to, of course, the Americans I have on there. I want to get over here. Yeah, guys. But escaping the rat race, it's like you have to solve a problem for yourself, like I've done, right? And then you have to, you have to be so fucking good at it that I see I can do. Okay, I guess I just post since I can't do a story from the computer. I'll just do a post that I'll erase later. You see, problem solving. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Live stream technology, the gift and bane of my existence. Um, there we go. Yeah. Okay. No, but you gotta solve a problem for yourself, whether that is fitness related or something else. I don't know. You build a home, you build a house. I need a house. Yeah, I built the house. Now I know how to build houses. I start building houses for others. Others can't build houses. I help them with that. You're gonna become so good at something that others are like, oh shit, I don't have to learn that because I can just buy that from him. Or in my case, because I teach what I do, kinda. I'm gonna. That's in the future, guys. I'm gonna coach coaches too. So that's really what you got to do. Solve a problem for yourself. Make yourself so good at solving that problem, but don't be afraid to start. That's the thing. I'm so good at coaching now, and I'm nowhere near done. I can always get better. We throughout the entirety of our lives, we can get better at literally everything. But I started out just like charging very little money, even for free. I did with some people, right? And I, of course, coach for free like this. But when you're actually trying to make it your job, even if it's a small amount or something, you have to, it is just for the commitment, for it to be a transaction, actually a little bit like that. Yeah, but then I just tried it, and I've seen what's difficult with coaching people. Oh, this person didn't do this when I did this. And maybe if I tried this, this worked when I did this. it's my example with my job now, but really with any skill you do, when you try to build this house I'm talking about, like shit, how the fuck do I do this particular fence or whatever it is? I'm not a house builder yet, right? It would be cool to build a house. I'm probably not gonna have time for that. I work with what I do from the moment I get up till I finish in the evening. Please like you guys who haven't. Consider what I said. It might be the last live stream. You're gonna have to make sure it's not the live stream, just so you know, guys. You can at least like. Okay, well, I can keep my opinion about Greece. Sigma Edits says, well, what brought me here is like the nature, but also the culture. You know, it is the this is where philosophy was born, right? Like, not saying that people, because philosophy is a practice person and actively being a person, kind of. But the Stoicism, a lot of things has its origin here, and there's a reason. It's like right in the center. It's South Europe. It's the great nature resources, the sun, the salt water. It's just the riches of the nature are the greatest here, in my opinion. It's funny what I notice because the people I talk to, they think that Sweden is so amazing. Oh, Sweden, you make it big in Sweden. But the thing is, I understand their perspective because I get perspective. I see how some are poor and struggling. I met some guy that fled from Ukraine here, and when he told me what I'm like, I realized how privileged I've been. But the thing is, Sweden is only, I shouldn't say, I love my country too. I don't hate it, but the criticism I have of Sweden is I can see my voice is echoing so much and people might be going to sleep, but you guys will hear me anyway. Um, where were we? Yeah. In Sweden, in Stockholm, where I've been, I feel like people are fucking, everything is robotic. It's kind of how I talked about the science, the perfect science, everything is too artificial. Even the people's relationships are artificial. Like life is, I go to the place, I sit and do stuff on the computer. I talk about bullshit things with my colleagues. We don't really connect. We don't, blah blah. I go home, I watch the Netflix, I eat the taco. I go in, it's just too much system. So there's a big material wealth in Sweden, but there's no, like, nothing else. There's no connection between people. There's no connection to the culture, history of the country. And I feel it's the opposite here. A lot of the Greeks are miserable people in a way. I've noticed there are a lot, like, and I'm here to be Iliakos Hypotis, the Sun Knight. I'm here to spread love and light on the Greek, and I am. I have so many funny stories to tell you about this, really. But yeah, it's the opposite. They lack stuff. Everything in general, like the gyms are crappy. Even I went to like a luxury kind of gym because my girl recommended it. I didn't know it was, and I showed up. Because my girl is fucking rich. And of course she would have some shit like this. And then it's just that it's fancy lobby and you get the towel and stuff, but actual gym is crap. The club of gyms I was a member of in Sweden, that reminds me I need to cancel that membership. But yeah, any of their gyms were better. So you see, like, everything is a bit more dirty. The stuff is a little bit more rough. People are a little bit poorer, but they know what they have, a lot of them, with the sun, with the sea, and this. So do you see the sea? In a sense, Sweden and Greece are opposites. That's why I felt like a misfit again, in Stockholm. I love the nature in Sweden too, to be honest. And when I see now, when it's snowing at home and I'm not there, I kind of miss it. I miss the cold. That's the one thing I miss most about Sweden right now. Cold plunges. I started going as often as I could to the lake, take a plunge, catch the sunrise, morning sun, take a lake. But then there's my take on Greece and that the two versus each other's. Um, let's see. Crowell said about, I know it was a Flying Thunder God version 2.0. Zeus, your Zeus, Sevs. How much did you train during your? Oh, yeah. Okay. I sorry. I guess I got lost when I started sharing the stream there. Um, The 5 day fast, I remember that was my first ever fast. I trained every day and I trained pretty hard because it was my first one. It was just experiment. I found out that, yeah, I'm a little lightheaded and stuff, but I can really train quite a lot. So I trained. I don't remember how I did it because it started years ago at this point. And the more you do throughout these years, harder it's getting to categorize. I fasted so many times, right? But on my 1 week fast, I did for the experiment, had more mileage by then. I did full body workouts, like one set per body per day. I did 100 on the 6th day. It's cool. It's the nervous system and stuff. Like people would think, no, I haven't eaten, so I don't have any energy. You are energy, little fellow human being. So you do have energy. It's just that when we're fasting, the body gets better naturally. This is what I'm talking about, preserving energy. And the body will try to preserve energy, but you're also in sort of a hunter state because, of course, you need the body is like we're not getting any external energy. At some point, we're gonna need that. So you're like ready to hunt. So like further into a fast, I feel like you gain sort of a superhuman strength because it's like the body thinks, okay, this is it. This is whatever action we need to take to get the food. So I did, which was a lot for me then, and it would be tough now too. But I did 130 kilos squats, 10 reps, and I knew I could have done more. But as soon as I racked it, I just saw stars. With like, uh, you know, 7-7. I like that. Now 8 people. Please like if you haven't. Remember what I said, guys. No super chat, no live stream in a long time because other people are paying for that via my coaching, the group calls. Um, if you want to ask more about fasting and training, go ahead. I just can't go on for too long but I'm gonna keep it. I'm up earlier than usual for me. It's funny to say that you're up early. I've been up for like 4 hours, and it's 2:18 here. I've been up for. You understand? I slept for a few hours before that. Um, no, but so I can because I work all day, but this is work for me too, of course. But I can actually, if we keep it going, guys, if you have the questions and stuff, and since it might be the last live stream in a long time, I'll stick around if you keep it going with me for like a couple hours. I could do. Um, mm, mm, mm. So yeah, Crowell Lovecraft that I said was a masochist that wanted me to yell at you or scream. Not at all. Maybe it sounded wrong. When I was in the army being trained by Marines in survival missions, I really became very well responsive to yelling. And when you do yell, it seems like it makes me move and do more work than usual. Sounds weird, but I guess Pablo and Kafka, yeah, you're spot on. You're like primed to respond, and you should take action when someone yells at you. So great observation there. I have nothing to add. You're right. And I have to because I don't know you. You're just a little anonymous screen name for me here. So you know, I just make something up and I trigger you a little bit. You might get mad, you might be, oh shit, is right, or you might tell me how it actually is, like you did now, right? Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. David Goggins is Adam responds to Kroll. Kroll, David Goggins is your guy, but again, yelling won't make you rich or successful. This is real life, not the military. Adam Lucas, I'm curious, how successful are you since you're teaching Crowell this? Are you the person to tell Crowell this, or do you just like the sound of your voice? I like the sound of my voice, but I talk about stuff that I'm very, very, very aligned with. Very, but we all have an ego. We can all fall out of alignment and, teach stuff that isn't ours to teach sometimes. Um, there was a comment chat. I think I missed one thing. No, okay, did it disappear? Someone said something about natural bodybuilding and stuff. Maybe Adam's right. I'm here to genuinely, yeah, say Crowell. Maybe Adam, you're right. I'm here to genuinely learn from him. I'm a fan and no, not the fan of getting off of you. No, but I appreciate that. There's not, that's what happens, guys. When you reach very high Giga Chad levels, a lot of people can take, it's like here, most people, because especially when I'm like beaming with a smile, it's difficult for people to not be happy when you're so happy. But when I'm just walking and I'm not even thinking about it, you just end up. It's like seeing a big fucking bear coming or something. And like this happened. I have so many little stories like this already, even if I've just been here for 2 weeks. Guys, you can make your lives into such an adventure. Like, why aren't you? Why are you not sitting here talking? Why are you not at a place in your life when you can tell these stories? But so I love animals and I love nature, and we are supposed to be connected to nature. And many of the cats and dogs here are traumatized. I have a great story about cats too, but this one is about the dog. So I come to the beach and I see this nice, oh, such a good boy, Labrador, laying on the beach, and two guys further away. And I assume it's their dog, but I want to say hi to the dog. I love dogs. And the guy, he was like, I could tell he was a little like, because people are meaner to animals here than in Sweden. I guess Swedes are too nice sometimes, but I guess it's good not to hurt. They spoil animals instead. You should have that golden average always. But so I come, start petting the dog. He's a little careful, but this is not an out just living. It's not a bum dog, if you understand. They own it. So he comes a little careful, but he's like, oh, he likes the pets, and good boy, such a good boy. And then I see these two other, they're like whistle at me, like we, and like do this thing. And I see they are sitting on the bench and smoking and drinking beer, and it's the middle of the day, and this was a weekday too. So they're fucking losers. Some guys that are just out drinking beer and smoking in the middle of the day, and they just see this blonde, tan, blue-eyed, jacked guy come and be all nice to their dog, and it's like, it's like the NPC meme. Like, you're not supposed to be that way. You're supposed to suck just as much as me. You're supposed to be reliant on beer. You're supposed to be smoking. You're nice to the dog? No, you can't be jacked and be nice to the dog. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, Adam Lucas, I definitely agree. As much as I would love to get coaching, my current budget is low, which is why I've been changing jobs. Yeah, sure. I'm not, my coaching, that's the thing, guys. A lot of people don't understand it either. I want to coach you so badly because I know what I could do for you. But it's just that in order for that to work, you have to pay me. If you're not the person that you have enough on your own so that you can be like, I get it what he's saying, and you actually go do the thing. But it's also it's beyond a lot of the, yeah, always when you're working with a coach, you're gonna get a lot of stuff that you couldn't know from the start. But it's also it's the commitment with the money. You take a leap of faith. The kind of the money has to sting for you a bit. Like my coach, I've invested in. Let me tell you, my prices are not low right now. I'll just say, like, relatively speaking, probably to most of you guys, my one-on-one service is probably, relatively speaking, a lot of money to you. But in comparison to the value it would bring you, it's nothing. It's just that you don't get it right away. It's not like just buying a thing. But things you just get immediately, you never appreciate for long. It's like taking a drug, kind of. But it's an investment, and you have to make a leap of faith. That's the whole point. That's what makes it work. So my coach, I just see the similarity between him and me. I see what he has done with his life. And I'm like, when he tells me his prices, I get scared, like, fuck, like, if I invest all of that, like, how much do I have left? How should I do this? How will I keep paying? But then I realize, like, no, of course, I see what he's done. It's gonna come back. And so, because I go into it, I take a leap of faith. I don't know exactly what I'm get from him at all. As always, like I could tell you, yeah, I make the training program, we make a nutrition plan, but I know that a coach can't really tell you what they teach. They can just show you when they teach it. So you have to take that leap of faith because it makes you commit. You invest something. It's like good to pay money. It shouldn't feel cheap because then you're gonna treat it as a cheap service. But if it is now very dear to you, like shit, like me with my coach, like when I paid it, I'm not gonna not listen to this guy when I've invested so much. And my state right now, I've been in similar states before. It's just has been easier for me to fall out of an alignment. And he has already raised my awareness so much with so very little. The best coaches, they give you as little as you need. They don't go like, here, everything. So they will tell you when you ask dumb questions, shut up, don't focus on that right now. Like a guy like me that is a little compassionate. When I have a personal relationship with someone, I might say that, but then give them a little answer, but then be like, but don't think too much about that. Like trust the process. So that's the whole thing with for coaching to have the best results with you. You have to feel like fuck. I'm paying a shit ton of money, but then you see beyond that. I'm paying what is a shit ton of money to me now, so I'll in the end get something back that I would feel like what I paid was nothing. It was nothing. So that's how it works with the coaching and that. But then there is the people like myself at this point. I don't really need too much of my coach. It will be useful. You should never have ego too and think, oh, I'm just done. I'm done learning. You're never. He's still way ahead of me. Even if I think I've learned a lot, I still have just learned a fraction of what he has to teach me. But I don't feel the same need for him anymore. And I will not, I know I'm a good client because I'm a good coach. I will not waste his time or my time or focus with dumb question. It will be when I'm really like, now I'm actually not sure. Then I'll ask him, and then he'll tell me, and then I'll actually go act on that. Okay, that's a little rant about that. Yeah. Crowell says, I agree, everything is unnatural and probably unnecessary. Probably unnecessary these days. Yeah. Yeah. Like, guys, in life, I want you to understand everything exists on a spectrum. Like, think the yin and yang symbol. There's always the perfect balance of things. Like, of course, we want to drive society forward. Like, the reason that I can sit and teach you guys here from Greece in my home slash office, like my office is in here. This is my office, really. But that's because of technology. But it's toxic with people that just sit and scroll on their phone. Just sit and it's a fucking seventh time you see the same dumb posts, your fucking memes on Instagram. Then it's toxic. So it's always the perfect balance of things. That's so. I was it you? No, it was some other guy I think that said like, oh, I stay off social media these days. It's toxic. And even when I try to tell him this that I'm telling you now, he's like, no, but I'm like, no, it depends on what you do. You're here watching me. How can you say is this toxic going on right now? I don't think so. Please like, guys, I see quite a few. I will remind you that you're gonna have to send super chats for these streams to be more frequent. Might be the last one for this year if you don't. And to tell you, I admit I take responsibility for once being a little bit entitled, feeling like I should deserve to get something back from you. I don't deserve anything in this life. I'm just lucky. But now it's a matter of that I will have group coaching calls that people actually do pay me money for. So we have to make it equal. That's the point. And that's the point too. You would get more out of what I'm saying now if you sent money. It's a pattern of the universe. The more you unselfishly give, the more you get back. The reason I am where I am, guys, is because I started just wanting to give back the gift I've been given. The gift of a second chance at life, and not only a second chance, reach heights I never thought was possible, and I keep reaching newer heights that I never thought was possible. And now, just because I've made it into my living, little worldly things like money and stuff get into my head, and I'm like, get like, oh, I need to be able to make money. It's like, no, just trust the process. You from the start, you've just been giving. You're gonna be getting back. So, in the end, I don't give a shit if no one of you listens to what I tell you to do for your sake. Send me money for your sake, is what I'm saying, because I know it will come back. I already have clients. I'm onboarding new. I'm gonna have to raise my coaching prices at some point. The sooner you get in on stuff, the better, guys. That's the thing with good investments, right? You want to be first there. Like my previous clients that I had before leveling up my business, they have an exclusive arrangement. I reward their loyalty and seeing my potential early. So they have a deal that's never coming back from anyone else. Do you understand? You guys missed out. You missed out. That ship has sailed. Now it's the next step. Like, will you invest now? Okay, will you invest now? And there's gonna come a point where you're gonna feel so fucking stupid that you didn't do it. So even right now, just that. Okay, let's get back to the chat. It's good that I go on these little rants. I give you room. Paris Delich. Hi, Theo. Yeah, hi. Hi, good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I started scrolling back to the longer things and stuff. Adam Lucas, people's lives are artificial even in Sweden. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was in the Western side. But Western society? What do you think Sweden is, bro? It happens to be the North, but we call Sweden the West. Like, what would you call it? But Sweden, to be honest, it's like America Junior, and a lot of people that are like further ahead in life and have a similar worldview as mine say the exact same thing. Like, I didn't come up with that. I just see that it's true when I heard people say it. It's like the country is a corporation, more than actually a country. Yeah, it's sad. There are a lot of good things like about Sweden. Yeah, I do miss it. I do miss the cold. I don't miss the dark as much. But yeah, and it's guys, for me it's been because when you do what I do, you give out a lot more than you get back in the world. Or like, not, shouldn't say that, but I do more for people than people do for me. And the better you become, the more you're gonna notice, guys. It just happens. Your clique inevitably gets smaller and smaller. But what a guy like me really wants is just appreciation a lot, and that's what you show with a super chat too, by the way. But for me personally, my ego, Theo, what I just want is that fucking don't just sit and be a little parasite. Like, come on. I am not doing it to get anything back, but I have my own personal needs. I want to be validated by people. I just don't have to. What I'm doing here, I know it's good, but when I feel sad, when life is heavy for me too, guys. When the difficult gets easy, the easy gets difficult. And some people, they get triggered, like we talk about. And when it happens to be someone close to me, it can be for me like really, like I'm doing everything for this person. I'm trying to help this person so much, and I get hate back. I understand it's not about me. It's that this person doesn't have they have low awareness, and they don't have much love within them, and it's not about me. It's about them. But man, sometimes I just wish people would appreciate me. And then when people do that, little like, where was I even going from the start with this? All of these things, they go together. Or some more specific point about this I was making. um Appreciation. I guess it come back. I guess I make a sort of point still. Maybe some of you guys are reminding me in the chat what I'm talking about. um an interesting question for Harris. I'm gonna get to it. um oh yeah, when you selfishly give, you get so much back, is the point. And look, that's my ego, like feeling that way, because I know in the end I get so much back. But yeah, just know that if you genuinely, that's what you should do for people like me. If you don't need to hire me, probably ego, you probably need to. But if you want to give something back, just say that you appreciate me. That's what the ego of Theo likes. The greater thing, player, because Theo is not special. Theo is just lucky. He has access to something, but it's really something that's within all of us. So Theo doesn't really deserve anything. He's lucky. But if Theo got to express his own wish, it's definitely appreciation that he likes. Derv says he will pray for me. Look, I appreciate that. Thanks, you, man. I will pray for you too. I pray for all you guys all the time. Look, your channel deserves more attention from my knowledge. Look, this is something my coach has taught me. I felt that way too, because I know I give a lot of great value here, but I can't be entitled about it. It's like the law of the universe. If I feel like I should get something from this that I'm not getting, then I'm attaching negativity to it. And the universe is going to pick up on it. Oh, look, Theo is thinking about money or attention or views, subscribers. He's thinking about that in a negative fashion. So we'll help Theo out. He won't get it until he thinks positively about it. So that's the work. You say I'm doing the work right now. I'm really that balance when I'm trying to explain to you guys why you should give me something while not explaining it to make you do it for my sake at all. It's such a difficult balance with stuff, guys. So, what if I should try to, I can practice it on your thing you're saying there. Like, it deserves more attention. Like, I don't deserve anything again. So it's more like this could be valuable to a lot of people. So it would be good if it got more attention. And there again, now try to say it without demanding it, but you guys can help with that, with the likes and comments and all that kind of stuff. Telling your friends about it, sharing a link about it. You don't deserve anything. You have to make it happen, and you have to make it happen for unselfish reasons. The less selfish you are in this life, the more things you get selfishly, right? The balance always, yes. Because in a way, I'm very selfish. I invest very much in myself, but it is in the end so that I have a lot to give to people, right? The balance, guys. Remember when you think about stuff in life, like, should I be doing? Is this okay or la la la? There's always a balance. Derf gave me a like. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, um, Adam Lucas. He said, I'd recommend including someone who is viral right now as a way to grab attention. Yeah, but little buddy, you're 19, like you told me. Do you think I need that advice? Don't you think I'm trying to build up this channel? I'm not saying you're mad, ego, but now I'm the teacher. You don't have to teach me anything. You don't have anything to teach me, little boy. Okay, that's 1 point. That's 1.2. Shorts grab attention as well. Like those have, yeah. But I know, man. I know. It's like, this is my job, man. You're trying to teach me my job, and you're a little kid. Like, bro, I'm telling you nicely now. I could be yelling at you and cursing because can tell you're a smart guy. But just as I myself have had to learn with my coach, I think I know something sometimes, and then he will just snap at me because he has a different personality than me too. He actually did. He actually did for the wrong reason one time too. I'm not even gonna go into it. I didn't deserve it at one point, but I just know how he is. I know he doesn't do it to hurt me. So I just like, okay, I let him yell at me for a bit because in the end, if I can find three things that are wrong in him, there's 1,000 things that are right that I don't have. Do you understand? So I'm telling you, shut the fuck up and sit in the student seat. I don't need that input. Nah, man, I'm just a 19-year-old with big goals I'm working towards. But I had the opportunity to meet high-level people in my marketing company and regional meetings, so I love to share. Yeah, I get that, man. But and you look, I'll say this: I can tell that you're a smart kid, but it's like you don't have to share ideas on how to grow my channel or business. Like you just don't. It's. No, you can tell me. You can tell me something about your fucking country you live in or something, where I haven't been, or if you are, I don't know, you're into sailing. I don't sail. You could teach me about that. But how to do my job? You have nothing, literally nothing to teach me about. The only way you could teach me something is by being my student. You understand? The coach just learns from the student when the student takes the role of a student. Those are the best clients that can fucking be the student and know they are the student, because because the coach knows that when the student does everything to learn and the coach is failing to teach them, it shows the coach where they are lacking. And like, but when the student thinks they're the teacher, then they're just sitting and telling the teacher things they've known for a very long time. It's like, okay, yeah, the sky is blue, by the way. Did you know that? Know that, Adam Lucas? The sky is blue. Do you know that water doesn't have any color, etc.? And Adam Lucas says, we are grateful to you. Well, I appreciate that, bro. You see, it's all love that I'm telling you. I hope you see that. I think you do, because you are a smart kid. Pro Lovecraft. Lol, I laughed so hard. Well, it's a while back now, so I'm not sure what that was about. J-Mac, people get jealous and insecure when they see someone like you that's killing it in life. Yeah, but it's also because people, they go around and are miserable, and most other people are also miserable, so they're okay with other miserable people. Then when someone comes who is not just a little better, they're beating them on every fucking level. It hurts in them. If do you follow me on Instagram, guys? I really done some provocative marketing there. Like, it's you play a character, you're telling the truth, but you're telling it in a way to make someone upset. People, this is a good analogy. You say that you get an injury in your body and there's pain, and it can heal but misheal, so that you don't feel the pain, but the joint, for instance, or the muscle, it just isn't the way it should. It's the same in people. They have pain that they don't understand that they have because it's not acutely, it's something that healed in the wrong way. And so what I go doing with that is like I rip up the wound. I'm like, look at you, you loser. You're sitting there drinking beer watching this video. Oh, wow. You're still on that level, you little shit. I bet you have a beer belly too, bro. Like, what kind of a man even has that? Do you think a man should be soft? Do you think a man should be soft, bro? Like, look at this. Now, I'm not gonna take it off and show my body here, but you see the point. It does hurt in people because your perfection, because no one is perfect, but in comparison to them, it reminds them of what they could be. They could, some people, they had the chance then to be like, you know what, this guy, wow, he's better than me. I should learn. I should be a student, not necessarily client, but in this interaction. I'll tell you about this. Yesterday, I went around talking to people. It was just this old man. He's sitting by the sea, under a tree, just sitting there, like. And I like Kalimera, and he's like Kalimera, Bob. You learned the Greek, la la la. And he just started telling me his life story, basically. And I can tell immediately this is a smart guy. He speaks much better English than anyone here. He's like fluent, you know. And I look at his clothes like, yeah, he has more money than most people in this area, you know. And I just listen. I just listen. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Pure wisdom flowing out of Evangelis, this 75-year-old Greek man. And I want to interject, just like you, Adam Lucas. I want to interject, but I'm better at catching myself with this. So if he goes on, when I try to, I'm like, okay, I'm quiet. And I wait till he's done with something. Then I will give my little take back. So in this interaction, it ended up being like maybe 80% him teaching me something and like 20% me teaching him something, because I could take the role of a student there. But if I had ego in this interaction, I would just try to run over this old man because I have the energy of a young man. I could, but I don't want to. But so this is all to say, these guys that are smoking and that they instead of being like, ah, shit, this guy probably doesn't do that. You know what? Away with a cigarette. Like, fuck. I applaud you, bro. They're like, no, I'm smoking even harder now because it's wrong for that guy to be that way. Look at him. He shouldn't be that way. You can't be that way because I can't. What I mean, you can't be that way means, no. If I'm that person that says that to me, like, you can't be that way, they mean I can't be that way. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. What do you think about Andrew Tate, and especially him becoming Muslim? Harris Delich said. Um, yeah, so interesting that I get to give my take on Andrew Tate, because actually for a little bit at home, you know, I don't really consume any content at all, more than in my work, like because I work on Instagram. I will, you know, you interact with some, but YouTube, I barely ever watch a YouTube video, even though I am on the platform. I just put out. But when it's always when I if I fall a little bit out of alignment and I just can't put out as much as myself, that's when I have to, like, okay, it's time to take in a little bit from someone else that can pull me up a bit. And so I give this Andrew Tate that I heard from some clients. Some guys have asked me about him, and I didn't know about him then. But so I listen to him, and what I always do is, because I don't, this is the thing, guys, you don't have to agree with everything I say either, but you have to just acknowledge if I'm very far ahead overall. It's again this thing, if you can find three things wrong with me, if there's 100 right, you shouldn't focus on the things that are wrong, right? It's the same with, I can find some things I don't agree with Andrew Tate with, but he's just undeniably more successful, like by 1,000 times than I am in business, right? In making money. So I have to listen to him about that. And so he has some very interesting ideas. I like how he says the matrix about stuff, because that I've done too. I came up with it's cool, you know, we come up with certain things on our, because I realized, yeah, okay, the matrix, a movie, then they're actually plugged into machines. Here, it's just in here. People live in a false reality in here. The thing about him becoming Muslim, I mean, I don't even, I don't even know how to explain to you what I think about that, actually, because it's like, you know, me with people with religion and stuff, I'm just spiritual. I know that God in the end is the one thing. Doesn't matter if you call him Allah God, nirvana, nature, the universe, source, final common denominator, it doesn't matter. Um, I think there's a reason he's picking this ideology, because he feels like they're upholding the rules of the religion more, and it's a provocative thing too. That he would do this, they will make people consider certain things. So I'm not sure what I think. I don't love the guy or anything. I don't think like, oh, he's so amazing. Like he's way further ahead on many things than me. But it's still not my favorite. There's a lot like the way he talks about women and stuff. I don't mean that he has a bad view of women. I know he doesn't. He's not a misogynist, all that bullshit. But when he's talking about success, and like you should have like 25 playgirls and they play. I'm just like, it might be a way, again, because we're all teachers, it might be a way to just grab some guys that are lower awareness that really want girls, to just make them listen to him. Ah, he has the girls. Oh, I listen to everything else he says too. But still, I would never want to be spreading that message. I would say that I would talk about it in another way. So yeah, I guess just to go on, that's kind of my general. If you want to ask anything more about him, sure, more specific, but that's kind of a general take. Definitely successful guy, definitely a lot of good that comes from there, but I don't have to agree with everything, even when I acknowledge. It's actually, in fact, it's when I acknowledge that he's ahead of me in a lot that I can say, but these things I don't like. Adam Lucas, just because I saw it, you're definitely right. Thanks for that lesson, Theo. Helps me improve. You see, this is the way you want to be, because you didn't know that you maybe shouldn't tell me those things, but when I tell you, instead of going like, oh, but that you're going to explain yourself further, you're like, you're right. No, that's going to take you far. You're much further ahead than I was when I was 19. This is what I want to tell all you guys too, my clients and you guys following me. I want you to become better than me. I want you to beat me. I know you can do it. So I'm so happy, like, shit, I get to give you this knowledge that I had no clue about. I had no clue about it at your age. And this is what we are supposed to do on Earth, guys. We're going to try to teach each other lessons. I'm further ahead. It's not about age, just, but in life. And I've learned certain things. And I want to, like, tell you things that I would have needed to know earlier, that would have helped me earlier. But most people are all ego. They're just like, what can I get out of it? What can I get out of it? And then I end up with nothing. Because again, to get in this world, to selfishly get what you would selfishly want most of all for yourself, you have to selflessly give the same thing first. It's like my coach, a lot with him is to make money that I've hired him. Like he's improving my ability, because that's the thing. Money, it never was a big motivator for me. I'm not a big materialistic guy. You can tell I'm this spiritual guy. Like even when I was a lower awareness person, I just didn't really care too much about fancy stuff and that. But I realized that it's selfish of me not to make money, because if I make more money and become more successful, I'll be able to help more people. So you see, it's like just the physique. You gotta have it. You gotta have the good diet. Gotta be strong. You gotta be courageous. You gotta have money. You gotta have resources. All these things you need to have as a man. So I pay my coach selflessly, because I don't know what I'm getting back. I am not getting a guarantee that I'm getting something back at all. But I know if I done selflessly, like, yeah, but I love what he's done for me already from his YouTube videos. Wes Watson, by the way, GP Penitentiary Life. That's my coach. Um, I love him already for what he's done for me. I want to. He deserves this money. He deserves more. But this is what I can give. Well, I know that when I selflessly give that, put my faith and trust in this man, I'm gonna get it back. I don't get to decide when or what that looks like, but and it's of course already happening. I'm getting more new clients in my new system, but like reaching that kind of level, it's still pretty far, and I have no idea when it's going to happen. But if I keep selflessly giving to the world, it will come back, and that's what you guys should do too. Hint, super chat, hint. And then Harry's Delish. By the way, are your soup? Ah, you did send me one. You say? Hmm. You sent one to mess with you. Ah, I can see it. Maybe if I open the stream on. That's strange. Because I usually see them on the phone too. Hmm. That's always annoying, right? When that you hate doing that as a coach and teacher, like telling you to do something, and when you do it, it doesn't work. Like technically, like that. If I'm like, I don't know. It's like if I gave someone workout equipment and tell them to do just do, and then the workout equipment is broken, that kind of thing. Let's see. Um, no, I don't see it. No. And they are not they are enabled, you say. They are not disabled, they are enabled. Wow, nice rhyme, right? Mm. Well, you know what? Now I have it up here. Why don't I just have the chat here instead, and then look back to you when I talk? Keep it going, guys. I would like to. I enjoy this, but it has to be a little bit of a back and forth, even if I'm the teacher and supposed to talk most. Crowell Lovecraft, we truly appreciate you and your hard work. Well, I appreciate that, Crowell. Soldier, get on it. I can't yell now, it's too late. J Mac, first guy to take my teaching to you here. 4.99 US. Thanks for the motivation. Well, thank you for appreciating me. You're pouring into me so that I can pour more back into you. you know, to prove a point. How can I prove a point? I try to really show guys how I mean, I can uplift you. I can just tell you in front of everyone, you did it. You passed the test. You've done best of you so far. You get my validation in that sense. That you have to trust me that I'm telling you that because of this behavior. You can't see how, and it's kind of little. It's $5. Me, I personally appreciate it. Thank you. But in your life, the pattern of your life is going to be the more you give, you're just going to get. It's like I go around here in Greece and I give positive energy to everyone. I even like my goal when I see the grumpy cashier, this woman, she's sitting with a face mask. She looks like this all the time. And I'm like, Kalimera. And she's like, and then I come in the next time and I go even harder, like, Kalimera. And I will see her wake up to life, like, huh? Kalimera. And now I get a smile from this woman, you get back, and so you know the most epic thing would be like right now if you went outside and found $20 on the street, because you can never know in which way it comes back. But I see Harry Stellich sent again 20 Swedish crowns. Maybe if I try again. And did you really for that was it so funny that you went? No, but I appreciate it. Yeah, the same thing goes for you with this. Totally. Um, yeah. I wish I could do more. Like I always, when people give to me, because I've seen this pattern in my life so much that the more I give out, the more I get back. I I really want to like emphasize it. So it's not like I did one thing. You know what I did on my Instagram? I put out my Swedish phone number to. There's an app called Swish that you can just send money. It's connected to your bank account, and I just put it out. And I held this speech like I'm just putting it on the table that this is something that's possible to do because I'm talking about the whole time about just other things that you should give out. Like you should help someone, they will help you back, or you're gonna get something somewhere else. If you keep helping a lot of people, you're gonna have a lot of people that want to help you back, and that. So I put it out as a test. I said I don't really need anything. I'm making a good living. I'm enjoying myself. I don't need anything with this. But remember what I've said. And this one guy, one Swede that I know who it is personally too, he did it. So I immediately go into his feed. I watch his pictures. I do a judgment of him, and I just start by boom, 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 sending him a bunch of voice messages, just telling him everything I see and the advice I can give him. And he's like super grateful. And he got that for, doesn't matter the amount. Yeah, he got super happy from that. So, yeah, good guys. Two of you took the lesson. And just so you know, this is how it works. It seems greedy because it's money, but I feel it now. I'm not talking about it because I don't care. This is just the gesture of this that I like. It just means more because it's more than just writing words. You actually have to bring out a card and do something, right? Um, where was I going? I hate this ADHD brain, not linear. I try to align myself with the flow. Um, what? Yeah, I I don't know. What was I saying? Well, let's leave it for now. Yeah. Okay, now I know. It sounds greedy when you say like that, but it is literally that. More money is always you're giving more. It's literally, right? It's like if I give you one piece of meat, well, I give you two pieces of meat, you have twice as much. It's undeniable. You can't say that it's not more. Same with money, even though it's not really about the money in the end, it just symbolizes something. But because we've attached this value that we trade with it, more is more. So I appreciate you guys, J Mac and Harris. You're for now the Chads. J Mac is the Giga Chad. Chat Harris is just a regular Chad. You other guys, I can't say that you're betas because I've liked you. I've liked everything you've been given. You're giving already by just texting in the chat. That's also the point. It's not. It's never the point that the only way to do this is with a super chat. It's just that that's what we have here on YouTube. But yeah, now I'll leave that point for now. Um, yeah, there's a bunch here. I will pray for you, Durf. We truly appreciate you and your hard work. Adam Lucas, we're grateful to have you. I love this. I feel like the whole thing. I feel like I'm an old man sitting with like my younglings, and they're like, "See, this is how life is, my boys. Let me tell you about life. You see, the things I've been through. Funny thing. I to make people interact on Instagram. Most people, you've been great. You've been great so far. I mean, I'm sure there's someone that's just watching and not doing anything. But I try to provoke people into that. You're just sitting and looking at your phone as if this was a movie. You little loser. It's not a movie. It's me talking to you. It's literally you. You there. That's who I'm talking to. You have the chance to talk back. And so many people that they watch all my stories. They're first person to watch my stories every time, and they don't ever say anything. Um, yeah, and so that's what you do with this when you put on Instagram. I'm giving you some like content creation coaching right here, if that's something you're into. What you do is you try to make people interact. Like you can even, it's like the cold DMs. I do that a lot, not to get anything. I just ask, like, write and be like, "Do you have any question for me? I see you're watching my story. You have anything you want to say?" I make them say something, and it's the same with like polls or asking questions. Like, of course, you're gonna give value by answering the question, but you're finally someone who's just sitting there, and then they get a yes or no option. They might actually do more than just sit like, you know. And so I did one when I asked, "How old do you think I am?" And I mostly got people thinking I'm like 36, 37 and stuff because I look younger, but it's the way I talk. And I hinted at I having good health and skin, so everyone overshoots my age. Then this one guy with a yin yang sign guesses 101. And I share it, and I'm like, "Oh, I will take this as you're talking about my spiritual age." Because the other guesses were closer to my actual age. But if you could convert physical age into spiritual age. It's like I'm 101 year old man. And then this anonymous, just yin yang account, he just responded to that like, "May the spirit bless you." Life is pretty fucking cool, guys. What is that? Some little unknown yin yang thing says I'm 101. I say it's my spiritual age. He's like, "May the spirits bless you." Mm-hmm. What is this life really, guys? What's going on here? Is it just the world we're living in? Like, is there something else? Is there another dimension to this? I see how creepy that looks. um, Sleeveless suits. When we hire you, what do we get? Look at me. Do you see me? That's what you get. Like that's the whole point with this, with the coaching. I can't tell you because you have to do the work in the end. I'm just helping you, but everything you see in me that you'd ever like, that's what you would get. So I can tell you it's kind of like when you're working with a client, you write down, for instance, like write down the training program. You've talked a bit like how what's your training experience, what equipment do you have, and that shit. But The point is really, I'm going to teach you a way of being that inevitably leads to certain results. But when someone isn't there yet, you have to use some mechanical tools, like jotting down the training program. This is the nutrition plan. Oh, this is how we're going to do with fasting, for instance, And then it's just that you start doing it. You come to me, you report what's going on, like you track your macros, your calories, and your workouts. If everything is going well, I'm just going to be like, yeah, keep it up, man. Keep it up. And you have a little question about, this exercise, I don't know how to blah, blah. You just do it like this, like that. Okay, I'll go do it then. And then we observe how things go. If you run into some problem, I will have to talk to you and try to set you straight about it. Um, and then if some point, because sometimes you have to change the plan, like a workout program, maybe if you're a complete newbie, we had you on 2 full body workouts, for instance. Um, at some point it's like, now it would benefit us to go to another split. So we'll talk about that. But you see, I teach you to do what I do in the end. That's what you get. And I have 2 different tier programs. The elite program for people that like really, really want to get as much value from me as possible, that either need that or just really want to invest extra. Then we have the second tier program that's going to be more group call based. Why I'm on your guys' asses that you're going to have to send a bit more super chats if you want these streams to come back anytime soon. Because this is the last one, not ever. That's of course clickbait, but it will be the last one in quite some time if you don't bring some kind of equivalent value to those, And it doesn't have in the end have to be as much as the service costs, because I get something out of this too just by doing it. It's going to be on my channel, a good video for others. It's like, but yeah. So do you see? I have 2 different services. I don't talk about the price of those here because it's a thing. I have to make you come to me. I can't push this on you anyway. If you're all this, like, what do I get? What do I get? It's like, you have to trust that you get. Look at the man here. You have to trust that whatever you'd like to get, you get. Whatever you see in this man that you'd like to have, if you give him first, he will give that and more back. He will give you something you maybe can't even imagine right now when you work with him. Do you understand? So by even thinking about too much, of course, it's going to be some idea like, I'd like to, at one point, I'm going to show you my girl, and you're going to be like, okay, he can make me get a girl like that, because my girl is prettiest girl ever. You know what? I can show you, because she's not, I have to, with her, it's a unique situation. I can't go into it a lot, but she's not quite ready to be shown to the world, if we say it like that. But I can show you, oh fuck, it's on the phone. Oh no, I can get it out here, I guess. I can show you like an anonymous picture of her. She's actually on my Instagram story right now. But for instance, when you see how fucking hot my girl is, but not only that, who she is, when I can be with her, then you might go, okay, I don't quite understand how, but something about what Theo does leads to this, right? So, yeah, but I'll actually show that to the best example, because she's not here. She's literally not in the country right now. She will be sometime soon, but I'll do what I can for now. I'm really not showing her as a trophy either. I hate doing that. It's really for you guys as fucking, like you low awareness guys. No offense, but that need to see something like that to understand, that can't just take me on the words like this. That's also, I with Wes, I didn't need to see anything. I just had to understand, like, this man clearly is ahead of me in every aspect. If I pay him, I will get something that I can't quite understand back. But okay, I'll show her back flex. Yeah, guys. I'm so fucking proud of my girl. Look at that. You just look at that. I guess might have been a little face, like tiny little, but the big picture doesn't matter. Like, because it's not that I have to hide her, but she's not ready to be full on here with me. So the back flex is perfect. But okay, I think I made my point for now. I can't keep trying to prove to you, and I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm trying to teach you to fucking hire me. I'm teaching you to hire me as a coach. That's what I'm doing. I guess in this video, I think the links to contact me is not in the description, but if you go to any of the most recent videos, you have I prefer Instagram. It's easier because I'm more often on there in my email inbox. But you can email there or DM me. And that's when you do that, that's when you're gonna get to know a bit more about the technicalities of the service too. I gave you like, yeah, I never was a fan of any person, to be honest, but I think I might enjoy conversations on metaphysics with Theo Crowell Lovecraft. I never was a fan of any person. That's funny. Like you never liked any person. Now, you should never be a fan of someone. You should be a follower because do you hear what people don't understand that? But the language really tells you something. If you're a fan, that's like something that's just like, I know you didn't mean it like that, but I'm just taking the opportunity to make a point. A fan is someone like, oh, Theo, he's so great. Oh, wow, I sit here. Oh, wow. Well, that's a fake motivation kind of thing when you're not really doing anything for your own. I like appreciation, but I don't give a shit about appreciation from someone who doesn't do anything. Doesn't really, that just treats me like I'm fucking a Avengers movie or something. Um, I'm zero interest in. But if you do that and you just so happen to be not quite as far ahead on this journey as I am, but you're doing the work. You tell me, oh, but I do hit the gym twice per week. I've started eating like this. I've done this, whatever. That I love, but I don't give a shit of fads. I want followers. It's in the word. You follow, not you stand from afar and watch. You follow. Harry Delch, I vote yes for the discussion. But you have to ask me something. What should I say about it? It's metaphysics. It's not a small topic. It's not something I go to. Oh, metaphysics. Because also all my knowledge on that, really, guys, I really try to read and stuff as little as possible. Oh, my phone is gonna die. That we don't want. That we don't want. Act fast. Oh shit. How do we? I don't have much time for the stream to die because I don't want to end it. Might have to reveal that my home is a mess. I'm gonna have to sit. This cable is so short. I'm gonna have to sit here and talk to you. There. Oh, of course. There. The stream is saved, guys. Oh. How do we do that? You see, you gotta act fast in this life, guys. You lose stuff if you don't act fast. That's why we're talking about my coaching. I would have lost the stream if I didn't act really fast here. We would have lost the stream. Sorry, guys. Of course, it's our stream. Fuck. How do I set this up now? You see some practical problem solving here. How can I make this work? Oh, I'm gonna have to move this table. Then it will actually, even this little short, this cable is maybe like 30 centimeters long. If I move this table, if I move all the shit on the table and move the table, then, do you hear me, guys? I'm talking through my process of doing things. You should have a process for your life. That's what I coach, a life process. A way of dealing with life. In this case now, this part of my life process that I have a classroom on YouTube where I teach things, and now my fucking classroom is about to break almost. So I have to fix it. I have to repair it. And I have to do it fast because otherwise my students are gonna be bored and just go out of the classroom. Can't have that happening. Okay. Yeah, almost done, yes. But I guess this is kind of, I'm making fucking fixing this problem content right now. Where did I put the little stative? Like tripod. Oh, guys, my life is difficult. I had it. Oh, no. I almost went into a pattern here of saying I always do this. But no, I never do this. I always find the thing. Magic is in our words. It's called spelling because we make spells with our words. So it's like when someone says they're hungry. Oh, I'm hungry. No, no, no. You're experiencing weight loss. Then it feels better to feel hungry, to feel because you're not hungry. You're experiencing weight loss. So I always find what I'm looking for, even when I have like can't see it at all. I always find what I'm looking for. Always find what I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. Yeah. You see, because I always find what I'm looking for. I found it. There. Set it up like this instead. Ah. See, my classroom broke and I built a new one. Now we will, is this okay? Actually, because I'm optimizing, it has to look better. It just has to be better lighting than this. I can't have my students sitting in a shitty lighting classroom when there's an option, of course. There we go. Okay, it will be interesting to see your commentary on this. You can tell, little rosy on my cheeks. Greek sun. Okay. Let's see. Are you still defining yourself as a Christian, as in believing in the Trinity? Father, Son, and the Spirit. I never truly actually define myself as a Christian, to be honest. It's like a lower awareness thing to me to have to attach to one religion, because you know what religions are for. They are to make people. They put them. It's a system. It's a system, just like my life process coaching. That's my religion. The way I do things. The uncommon sense, the Solar Night Academy, the uncommon sense. That's like my religion. But it's really a system to reach a certain outcome. That's the same thing with religions. Like even a lot of religious leaders that call themselves a Christian or something, they know that someone that's a Muslim could be believing into, if they're not of the world. I mean, yeah, in the world, not of the world. I've met people that call themselves Christians that I have nothing in common with, because they're like just like, but the Bible, as if God is about a book. God is in here, is in all of us, whether you call it Allah or God or blah blah blah, nature, universe. So I've met Christians I have nothing in common with, and I have met Muslims I have a lot in common with. So no, I never truly. When I started believing into God and my spiritual awareness was a little lower, I was listening to Jesse Lee Peterson. He is like this. He is a Christian and he will push it very hard. It's because he knows that it's a big thing in the States where he's from. So a lot of lower awareness people, they will need him to call it Christianity. And I guess I'm just too much about the truth to have an approach like that. Like, I'd prefer to go right to explaining this about it instead. But so when I had a little lower, I was like, yeah, I like everything of what Jesse's saying. I'm starting to see God. I'm kind of getting what he said. I guess I'm a Christian, I guess. But, it was really more to save time for me. I never truly identified as a Christian, because it was more about being efficient in my communication about it. But now that I've developed such a high spiritual awareness, I can't just go simplifying like that, because I'm too extroverted. I'm too much about the actual truth, not just simplified versions for lower awareness people, right? So yeah, much better lighting. Yeah, well, thank you. We're optimizing the lighting. Harry's Delish. You have not caught up in a long time, I see, with your questions about Christianity and if I'm on vacation in Greece or have permanently moved there. Because permanently, we'll see. I think so. I hope so. That's like the ideal. Just like God, the ideal is I threw myself out of my comfort zone coming here, because I've known I don't want to be living in Stockholm, definitely, probably not Sweden. And I'm coming here. It might just be the case that I have a girl here too, like I told you about. But she was not the reason I came here. So that you should know. You should never go for a woman, It just so happened that when I knew the kinds of places I wanted to go, like maybe South Europe, and there just might be a girl I like here, a girl I like, then it made sense to talk to her about it, you know. And to be honest, I felt the calling to Greece because it was the first country I ever visited as a kid. My name, Theodoros, it means the gift from God. It's a Greek name. I've this summer especially, but I've liked the sun and had it in my like health routine, thought about it for years, but especially this year I've realized the importance of it. And it's just the land of the sun. You can go fucking anywhere, and a restaurant will be called Oelios, or that is the sun, you know. So like all roads just led here. It's quite biblical, you know. When you start writing your own story, guys, it becomes like something out of almost like a fantasy fairy tale or something. It's like I meant to end up here, you know. But I can't. You can never be attached to anything. It just seems very, very likely that I'm going to be here permanently, but it's a trial. I could end up probably. I wouldn't permanently move back to Sweden. That's the only thing that's probably sure. Or if I did, that would be way further down the line. But technically, it could be. I could find something about this. Like, no, this is not the place for me. But right now, I feel right at home. My Sauronida here, south of Athens. I mean, I love the place. Absolutely love the place. I'm so sick and tired of living in Stockholm, a city, you know. Like I lived in the best place in Stockholm you could ever live. Up on a hill. You've seen my videos where I go around there. Outdoor gym, forest just nearby, lake nearby, up on a hill, so it's a little secluded from the city. But then I have to go into the city. I hate all the hardness, the fakeness, all the light, artificial lights. I mean, there's artificial light, but you know, sounds and noises and hard things, fake things all over. And now I'm living in a like village, you know, and right by the sea. I will when the sun goes up. I mean, it's still in the middle of the night here. I mean, the clock is 3:18 here, so the sun will go up in like 4.5 hours. Then I will go swim in the ocean. I've literally done that every day and I fucking love it. So right now it's very difficult to. I'm probably not going to live here in Sauronida in Greece. I'm probably going to see other places in Greece, but I like it so much that it's just very. Even if I'm not attached to it, it's just very hard to see anything else happening with everything I just told you. Mm. No, now some porno bot came. Uh, yeah. And Adam Lucas said, definitely, I love how you make it clear that you are talking us. It's not like a movie or a show where you just watch people as if you don't exist. Till Theo tells you directly to stop being a loser. Do you know how many people don't get it, even when I do that? So even this I will give you credit for, that you understand it. I mean, I guess it becomes more obvious when because you're already in the chat. But to the little people that are like this on Instagram, because I do the same. I'm very talkative to the camera on Instagram. And they just sit. And do you know what I write in text and say at the same time? I say, I'm talking to you, in parentheses, yes, comma, you, capital letters. Still, that's not enough. For some people have such low awareness. They're so in the matrix, they feel like I'm just watching a movie. This is entertainment, watching Theo. That's kind of interesting movie. The subject of the movie right now. He's talking to you, he says. Yeah, but he's talking to those other people that would be his clients. I know you. That's the point. Do you know that I do this like cold DMs? It's a sales tactic, but again, the attract don't chase. I don't cold DM people wanting them to become clients and pay me. I want to get to know them so that they decide that. It's never me. I can't decide for someone to hire me. They have to do that. That's again fake sales. That's when you push someone into a sale. You know, you just almost trap them into the sale. That's never my point. It's going to be the opposite. There's going to be the opposite to trap. Like I really chose to come to Theo, but I, as the Chad, for a lower awareness person, I can reach. It's like I talked about this a lot. I can reach out the hand. I give them the chance to grab it. So this one guy called himself Amazing Wanderer, and so I do it because I send voice messages. So when I'm in the state, like the Amazing Wanderer, what's up? I see you're watching my stories. You know what? What's up? I'm just checking in with my followers, like, how are you doing? Any question you have for me? And this guy, he starts responding, and he's like, wow, like with a emoji, with a sweat drop, like, I can't believe you are actually talking to me. And I'm like, yeah, I respond again, but you little idiot, like, how can you not understand that? Like, I've been saying nothing else on my story than that I'm talking to you right there. And this is a cool thing, guys. If I take it full circle with the spiritual stuff, who do you think I'm looking at as well, if we put it that way, to make it clear when I do this and talk? Yeah, I'm talking to you, you little piece of shit, little bitch. You need to go after your goals, you little motherfucker. Who am I talking to? That's right, I'm talking to me, because the same thing is inside us. The same spirit is inside us. That's what God is. That's what the divine is. Um, it's just the more you sort out your vessel, the trauma of everything going around there, you can just let the spirit peek out. And that's what these people's problem is. That's why I love them. That's why I just call them bitch and stuff, and provoke them to try to wake them up. But I know it's because they have low awareness. I would have 1.2 be sitting and watching my phone, and someone says, I'm talking to you, and I'll be like, yeah, but that is talking to someone else, really. No, you. Talking to the same thing inside of me that is also inside of you. That was kind of poetic that I said inside me and inside of you, pointing like the opposite. Because it's not the opposite, it's the same. And that's why I say there's nothing special about me, guys. And I want you to understand all this fucking wisdom that's just coming out of me right now, it's not mine. It's not even mine, It's I just have access to it, and you can gain access to it too. Guess how that can happen, guys? You know what all the roads lead to in the end. If you want to be like me, if you want to be like me, you know what all the roads lead to. Either hiring me or either actually going on your own growth journey and having me by the side, checking in and actually doing fucking stuff that I do. Not just watching me. Do. And it's very cool. It's very impressive. I do get people that reach out that have actually managed. I've never seen amazing results such as my own. Those I will go, my clients I have now, in a few months. Again, lower awareness people, or that just don't have faith, that can't trust, that if I pay, I will get this. But my clients, I have a few guys now, they're gonna get ripped. I have some guys on their way to being ripped, so I'm gonna show you. But that's the point again, guys. Everything you see in me, you could have and more, especially if you're younger than me. If you're younger than 25, because that's when I started with all this, you can become better than me. And you definitely, if you hired me, that's a goal here on Life on Earth, guys. We uplift each other. I want you to become better than me. You're just not. You're just really, really not right now. But I want you to be, and you could. Yeah, there's the porno bot. Yeah. No, but Adam, yeah, great. Yeah, I clarify that I'm talking to you. Yeah, yeah, I'm proud of you, man, that you see it so clearly. I mean, or that you will give that feedback, rather. Crowell Lovecraft. No, I guess like George Carlin used to say, it takes 30 seconds to realize you're talking or listening to a dumb fuck. So that's what I meant today. It takes a lot for me to be inspired by someone. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Uh, Not because of ego, but it takes a lot to impress someone who's been in my experiences, which isn't the topic of this live stream. Um, you see, it's a little ego for you that you want to, you're trying to like prevent me from saying that it's ego. So that is ego. Call out. You inspired me, like I said, to work and do more, and I think that's worth my and probably dime when I can. Yeah, man, that's the thing too. What I do with all of this, I know everyone can't. Literally, one of my services, especially the elite program, I know young guys, they might literally not even have that amount of money, because I know I didn't have any fucking save money mindset at all. I'm not saying that I don't know you, but I'm just saying in general. So there is that part too, that someone might actually not have, like, how are they going to do it then? So what I do when I talk about it is I'm planting seeds. I know there are a lot of people. I predict this. I'm this person. I have one guy. I can't say too much if he was watching the stream, but I triggered the shit out of this guy. I really got him on everything. And the one thing he had me on, I went to before he had the time to attack me about it. I said, yeah, if there's one thing you have on me, in this, is this. I have exactly what he wants. He has struggled so much with food addiction and cutting the last part away. I know everything. I know everything around this. I could do this for him, but he hates it. He hates that I speak to him as if I'm better and know more than him. Because no, I know best really. I follow Theo, but he's my equal or worse than me. Even though I'm the one that always comes DMing him about the things I worry about. He doesn't ever ask me anything, but I know best. I know best, you know. But I planted a seed by triggering the shit, that wound there. I've been just like, you little fucker. Yeah, that hurts, right? Well, I could make it stop hurting if you just drop your fucking ego. Planting the seeds. Then there's, of course, like you here. That's a seed that's planted. You're not like this guy, to be clear, at all. You see the value already. You just might not actually be able to afford it yet. Yeah. Much better lighting, yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, I have one last thing from Harris here. We've gone 1.5 hours. I could go to, because I have some stuff. Soon we're coming to the time when I actually usually go up. I have some extra time here because I'm up. Did I tell you? Yeah, I talked at the start of how I'm getting away with less sleep. I fucking found a way to biohack sleep with almost like spirituality. It's kind of cool. But yeah, Harris has this one thing here. You have to fill up with some stuff. And okay, I'll do this too. Final reminder. It's not probably not going to be directly for me right now, but super chat. That you have the opportunity to do that more. Remember, a bigger amount is bigger. Watch out, Theo's ego. Don't think you deserve it or anything. But you know, for that point we were talking about earlier, giving you just a little reminder that that's something you could do. I promise you, if you start looking, it's even a mindset thing. If you start looking at things like, yeah, I trust. I always trust that if I give, it will come back. That's why I did with coming here. I was afraid of coming here. It's like it's not only giving; it's like action, output. You know, in a sense. You know, and of course I give. I guess I gave. I invested. I invested a lot to come here. See, giving something is always an investment. That could be the simplified thing. But okay, ask something else if you don't want the stream to end after I go on Harris's thing here. Harris, now you're trying to teach me something about spirituality here, and we'll just. Do you think that again? You're here watching my stream. Do you think that you have something to teach me about spirituality? But I'll actually read your question there, or input thing. If you seek the truth and believe in one God worthy of worship, I would strongly suggest you look into Islam. As you said, you have some things in common with Muslims, and as a Muslim, I can see why. Yeah, but the thing is, bro, I'm sure we share a lot of our views on God, but it's because it's about God in the end. You are just sitting and looking at the book, Quran, and your society and shit, the system that leads to God where you're around, but it's God in the end, and he is within. I didn't find God from any of the major religions. I found him at the bottom of the shit barrel, you know, of life. When I put my faith, it's again this, it's always about faith, guys. I had to have faith for once with those panic attacks. You know, I'd been suffering for a long time, but apparently it wasn't enough to teach me a lesson. I knew a bunch of stuff that I should be doing, as everyone always does. And then I was forced with this panic thing of, okay, fuck, I might die. I might have lost that life. I'm not dead, actually, but I'm suffering so much that I'm not even, I don't want to kill myself, but I kind of, I'm afraid that I won't have the willpower to stay alive because this is so uncomfortable. And nothing felt better. Nothing felt better when I tried to confront it. It felt like whatever I did, no, it's panic. It's panic all day, every day. Every second feels like an eternity, acute suffering, acute suffering. Please, please, please spare me. Can it just go away? Why did this happen to me? You know, why did this happen to me? And finally, a kind voice in my head appeared out of nowhere, a voice I'd never heard before. Or rather, a force or energy that influenced my inner voice, telling me, making me tell myself that, you know what, this is difficult, you know, and something must have gone wrong. Not you were just born this way, you cannot have been born this way, because that's my trauma. I thought you were born a certain way and couldn't kind of change. But I really, you cannot have been born this way. You cannot have been predestined for this to happen. Something went wrong, and I was forced to look at myself, and I was forced to take action to actually try to confront these situations where I got the panic, without it feeling any better at all. I had to just look at myself, take these actions that took tremendous courage, because it feels like facing death, or worse, and they never ending every time. Worse than death. I mean, death isn't so bad when it depends on when it happens. I really, right in this moment, I don't care about death. I'm sure I would in certain, but it's suffering really. When you're dead, you can't suffer anymore. If there isn't a hell or heaven, I'm not going to claim to know that, but um, yeah, that's how I found God. When I put my faith into it has to work. I don't experience that I'm gonna get better from this at all. But I have to. It has to. I have to do something. So finally, confronting all these things over and over and over, panic attack stopping. You know the story if you watch my content. I'm just going to make it an answer to your thing here. I found something. I didn't know it was God first, but I found something. Something was lifted off of me. Something new was present in me. And then I saw this man, Jesse Lee Peterson, on YouTube, conservative black old fellow, was talking about God, and I had seen him before, was the funny thing, and I kind of liked him, but I didn't quite understand him the first times I saw him. But then I was like, ah, yeah, I agree. Like I was sitting, and he helped elevate my awareness for it, and that's the story. And he was Christian, but like I said, I never truly attached to the Christianity religion, because I knew that the thing I found from the beginning was not from a book or something, not from a system. I found the thing that a system leads to. My system was panic attack syndrome. Do you understand? Facing panic attack syndromes and what that meant for me. Having to take, have faith in my actions, even though I don't trust them at all at that point. And I was forced to look at myself and get to know myself and understand myself. Someone said something else, I think. Um, Crow Lovecraft. I can relate to this emotional experience. A little part of me, that's cool. But there's nothing more I can say about that, though. J Mac asked, benefits, is after dopamine fasting. This with watching yourself, with self-awareness or awareness in general, I almost went into a paradigm, be like, but just go watch my video. I've talked about it in a video with this kind of, it doesn't mean that I do this. It can also mean that I'm focused, but I can see how a little pattern of being annoyed at, what the fuck, bro? Why can't you just watch my video about it? But the funny thing is, at the same time, I'm telling similar stories from different angles to teach different lessons all the time. I guess this is just a little bit more worldly. It's like fasting. It's like something you do, even if it can be considered a spiritual practice. But, you know, it raised my awareness. I was forced to say, I had a lot of it was beautiful, because I didn't know that it was going to be this way, because I planned this for at least a couple of months before it happened. I knew that I was going to do this at around the time I did it. And then I had just some fallouts in some relationships that were, again, difficult for me when I feel like, fuck, I've given more again, and the person failed to deliver back to me again. I was abandoned again, ego feel like that. Because again, they abandoned themselves, really. They were unable to love themselves as much as I love them, and that's why I feel hurt. But, now I'm talking after, because this is what I've reached to now. And I guess the fast helped me with that too. I was forced to sit with my pain, really. But it's just a spiritual and emotional pain, really. I guess I had a physical pain. I had the biggest headache. But yeah, I had nothing but me to be with, and my pain, and nothing to distract me. No nicotine, no caffeine, no food, water, but and salt. I mean, I enjoy the salt. But so Yeah, like of course it immediately, because fasting does that, it scrubs out the dopamine receptors faster. So any even fasting from food will help with, because it's such a major one, it will help with scrubbing out other addictions a little bit in you, like they did with the stimulants for me there. But the major thing for me was that it gave me so much time to observe myself in a very painful state. It taught me how much emotions, a lot of people, even men these days, because women, of course, are more emotional. My girl is more Chad than most men I've met, by the way. Because masculinity and femininity is within all of us, and it can be toxic and good in both men and women. It's a spectrum, right? Again. But yeah, most people, even men today, they are consumed by their emotions. They don't understand that emotions are temporary. Like me right now, for instance, I'm in a kind of a state of tranquility. I don't have many emotions right now. But to be honest, that's what happens. Yes, like the more aligned you are, everything just is kind of, and you allow it to flow. But I know that this is temporary. Even this emotion that's kind of a lack of, it's not a lack of emotion, but I think you understand what I mean, right? It's just not something that overtakes you emotionally like that. But let me just find how I want to say it a bit. Yeah, when I know still that whatever my emotional state is right now can be different, and then because of my emotions, different hormone levels, all this, I'm gonna look at things differently then. So the more you understand that an emotion is fleeting, you can feel bad, you can have an uncomfortable feeling, but be more comfortable being uncomfortable because you know that I will feel different about this afterwards. And I know that before going into the fast, but we can always we're never done in this life. We can always deepen our understanding of something, even something we feel like we know truly. When another layer is peeled, you're like, I thought I knew this before. Now I know it. And then the better you get at knowing, you should always know that there's more. But so I had these personal relationship stuff that I dealt with that I thought were kind of difficult. Yeah, I thought it was very difficult. But so when I start suffering from the fast, the other shit, my emotional state just, in my biological vessel here just is terrible. And I have my other things going into it. They feel terrible. They feel like it's all I have in this world. Fucking people always leave me. They always mistreat me. They never give me what I give them. Why? Like why? I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I have to sit and feel like this, and with nothing to distract me. And then when I reached the part when the withdrawals from the stimulants was gone, then I feel like yeah, like yeah, those things. It's not like I don't feel anything negative about it if I start thinking about it, but well, man, there was my entire world for 2 days, and now eh, it's okay. It really just deepened my understanding of this. That it seemed so much worse. I knew it for a bit while it was going on, but it's after you can never know something truly until you have the experience, right? So it just taught me that even more, that my emotional state is temporary, it affects the way I look at things, my perspective is influenced by emotions. So, and it taught me that in the end, if I don't act out of emotion, if I act out of logic, logic is divine, by the way. If I act out of logic, I should, no matter how I feel about certain things, I should like stoically, factually be able to arrive at the same conclusions, which you don't when you're emotional, when you're driven by emotion, when you. Oh, yes, my head. This weird thing. It's like I'm in a sleep deficit and at the same time not. You know what? We'll just end it. Now I can end it. Had to start it again to end it. Okay, sorry about the weird ending. Like I was saying here in the chat, I like the contributions in the chat and that. I love having these streams with you guys. So you're dropping it. Hey, you're coming back. A few. Are you there? Ah, you're coming back. Nice. And then, well, I guess you want to talk. Uh, You see all the spamming from myself. That's nice. I like that it's a standard on YouTube that you get a little crown if you're the you get a king crown if you are the yeah, if you are the, what do you say, the owner of the channel, I guess. If you are the channel in the chat. No, and I think we're not gonna, probably most guys assumed it's just over. So I'll say this, it's difficult for me. Do you understand? This is difficult for me because I really love doing these streams, and there are maybe times because I don't have much time. Like in the week, on weekdays, I just can't do this. Like literally can't, whether I would like to or not. But right now they do sort of fit to do at this time. So it's this balance of, I guess, because we've not scheduled the group calls yet because that's a new service I have. So maybe that's kind of a good yeah, smart. I keep pulling. I'm getting the group for the group coaching call. Maybe I'll start pulling you guys over. Like, do you like the value from this? I guess that's it. That's how we end it. I can keep doing this actually for probably tomorrow, probably. I mean, it depends on how I feel too. Like, let's not promise too much, but I'm just talking about how I can see it working, how I can make a way when I can still make these streams happen. Uh, I can probably, depending on how I feel, I'm gonna go up at the same, be awake at the same time tomorrow. So probably can do it tomorrow, depending on how I feel about it. And then I might be able to do it the weekend after. Then after that, I think I'm just gonna have to pull the plug on this for a while at least. For the group calls with a coaching, people that actually pay more than $6.91, guys. No, I'm kidding. Again, I love doing this, and you guys were really great on this one. Yeah, we'll just end it now. Thank you for this time, guys. Thank you who watched it back. Yeah, the time the stream was at, that we can say. Saturdays and Sundays there might be streams at this time. That's the schedule right now. Okay, guys, peace.